What's up and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I'm Brad Valdez.
I'm Kevin Watson.
I'm Dakota Waldridge.
And I'm Brandon Meredith.
Yes, and the boys are here at TopGolf. Hey, we got to say a special thank you to our guests right here. We should have split them up, Coach, because we don't know what's going to happen here.
Hey, I told them we're having a loser leave town match at the end of this.
So if you don't know, next to Coach is head coach Eric Dick from Holy Cross, and then we have the guy Mike Jackson from DeSales High School, the head ball coach too. Welcome back to the podcast, fellas.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great being here.
Hey, the primo status. Hey, we got good ones.
These guys are veterans.
Yeah. So welcome back. But we got to clean up some the call to action, baby.
Yeah, so we're doing this for the first time. Hopefully we can keep continuing to do this. But to do that, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the subscribe button and hit like. That's all we ask. It's free. You can do it. Just hit subscribe and like. Thank you.
Good job.
Hey, and for our housekeeping, next week we are going to be at North Bullitt High School back supporting the ladies' spring quarterfinals and semifinals. It starts at 5:30. Come on out. We'll be there. Have a tent. Come talk to us. Holler at us. Whatever. If you want, the finals are actually going to be on Thursday, but we can't make Thursday, but we will be there on Wednesday.
Yes.
Hey, that's going to be a rough one because I think Holy Cross and North Bullitt play the first game.
Yeah,
right?
5:30. 5:30 again. Hey, let's go, baby. It's going to be a good one. But we want to give a huge shout-out to Janine McKenzie here at TopGolf. It was a pleasure to work with you, and it was awesome. It was easy. So if you guys have any events that you guys want to come to TopGolf, man, and email Janine. It was phenomenal. She was easy to work with. And
this little outdoor space is really nice.
It's beautiful.
I've been here 100 times. I've never even seen this place out here.
Yes. So, hey, we're going to get into the icebreakers right now. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, now I said we got to do something a little different. You know what I mean? We got to do like one-shot cornhole.
Oh, okay.
With the boys. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right. You guys are going to have to draw
a popsicle stick
to see who you face. So here we go.
They got our names on them?
Yes, they do.
So you might draw.
So here you go. Hey, rock, paper, scissors. See who picks first, though.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Of course.
Boy, if this ain't Dixie Highway.
Oh, hey, let's go. We don't know what that one was, man.
Arthritis kicked in there at the end.
So who won? Who got it? You got
Coach Jackson.
I cheated.
He cheated.
He's good. I'll take it. Let's see. Brandon.
Oh, here we
let's
go.
go.
One-shot cornhole, baby. Let's go.
Was it closest?
No, we got to go in, baby. All right, or you know what? Yeah. Hey, this is the 4 versus the pack.
Got to put it in. What she said.
Here we go. Dakota, scoot up on him.
ESPN.
I don't know.
ESPN to Ocho here to film this.
I think Coach Dick's got this one.
I want Dick in slippery stairs.
Whoa.
Oh.
All you got to do is hit the board.
Oh, let's go.
First one on wins.
First one on wins. Sudden death here.
I'll tell you what, Render would be a good guy to have this.
Oh.
Good.
Oh, let's go. Pack 1. Hey, the 4.
The pack 1,
0.
Coach is 0.
All right, here we go. Come on, Jackson. You gotta pick. Who are you gonna pick?
Watson.
Kevin.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Colts versus Cougs.
Let's go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Hey. The 4. The 4 versus the pack. See who's going to win this one.
Dakota, I'll come swap you out whenever it's your turn, buddy.
So how'd you feel, Coach? How'd you feel up there?
Hey, I'm a county guy. That's nothing. That's a Saturday night for me all the time.
Let's go. Oh, shoot. Here we go. You got it, Dakota? Oh.
Okay.
Oh. It is 1-1. Let's go. Let's go, fellas. All right, now we get into this fun episode right here. Let's go. Hey. Hey, you guys are, man, what a start to the podcast already.
Yeah, that's not a good start for the boys on the highway. not a good start.
Okay, so hey, that was a real fun game. Hey,
At least we only took one throw.
Hey, exactly. Yeah. What you guys
It's a
think?
one-throw challenge, not 14.
Okay, so hey, Dakota had a really good question that he wanted to ask you guys, and this has been a phenomenon.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a good question, but we'll ask it. So, you know the 100 versus 1 on the gorilla debate, right?
Yes.
Okay. Of us four, me, Brad, Kevin, and Brandon, who's the last one standing out of us four if we're all in the group of 100 facing the gorilla?
I'm going to be honest. I think it'll probably be you. And this is why. I think this guy right here is going to try to size him up. I didn't think that. But I think he's going to try and size him up and go right at him.
I think so.
I think you Dakota, just something about you thinks that just makes me think that you're going to play it smart and try and sit back somewhere and wait till the most opportune time.
Shuck and jive, stick and move.
Yeah, I think you're just going to wait till the most opportune time.
Wait till he's wore out and then jump on him at the end, claim victory.
There you go.
Okay.
My money's on my guy.
Let's go.
I think gorillas. I've seen some AI simulations on this deal, and their eyesight is their one weakness. So that glare hits from that afternoon sun.
I thought you were going to say he looked like his brother. I didn't know what you were going to there.
That glare, I mean, you know.
Let's go. I didn't think I was going to get it. I didn't think I was going to get
I'd
one.
be the first one out.
You probably, well, yeah, because that gimpy
No,
ankle.
I'm going for the takedown early.
Are you?
Yeah, if I'm going down early. Get it over with.
Brandon, what are you doing?
I just got to outrun one of you all. I'll be okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
I don't have to be fast. I just got to be faster than one person.
That's right.
That's right. Okay, guys. You guys know, you guys are friends of the podcast, and you know we have the dog button, right? Okay. This is just an icebreaker question to you guys. Who is that dog that you're going to have to face this season?
Man, are you talking about against each other, or are we talking about
against your schedule?
Total schedule.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, you guys got a tough schedule.
Yeah,
These guys do too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Kevin talked about it. Y'all were talking about it the other day on your all's podcast. There's a lot of them. I mean, the team next, DeSales. I mean, they're going to have a lot. I mean, Lexington Sayers, a returning state champion. Providence is a returning state champion. And, the majority, then we go into our district by itself. I mean, so, I feel like everyone out there for us, I mean, because we're battling up for the majority of them. So it's just going to be, it's hard to really limit down to one when we got an entire schedule, I feel like, of teams that can give us a competition on any night. So
That you talk about the grind. I think looking at both of our schedules, it's going to be a grind. It's not going to be let's play a really tough game and have 3 weeks off and then play it's going to be week after week after week after week. It's going to be a grind.
Well, we both have aspirations for the postseason, more so than the regular season, maybe even. You got to do well in your district, of course. Right. But you can't stack your schedule with too much when you're playing KCD, and you got to try to win that game best you can. And we're trying. All we've got is Central and Cal. No big deal, right?
No big deal.
So we had to be smart about the way we schedule our non-district, and we're not going to load up with all 6A teams like we were first year when I got the job at DeSales. But at the same time, we're gonna roll into Oldham County, a 6A school in our first game, and then later on in the non-district schedule, we're going to play Dixie Highway School, which is very, very good, and it's going to be a challenge. We're glad they're back on the schedule, and Coach Dick has worked behind the scenes to try to get that back. We've been really angling to try to get that game, but that's the bear of our schedule. I mean, our kids are going to be geeked up, going to be pumped on both sides. We're hoping that, we get the emotions down and play with intelligence, but that game's going to be tough. Thank God we got rid of North Oldham, who beat us by, what'd you beat us last year, Brock? 80 points in the first game, something like that. So no North Oldham.
We were there. It was pretty bad.
But anyway, so we've got some tough teams on our schedule, but the toughest probably come with getting into our district. That's
two pretty tough districts. I mean, Cal's probably, I would say, the favorite to win the state.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So. Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, 3 in a row, 4 in a row? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What's the difference now?
Just crazy. It's crazy.
They
But
they got to lose sometime though.
That's right.
They got to. But you know what? We're going to bring up the coaches from the second segment up and see if they want to ask if they want to ask these coaches a question, just like a little mini round table. You guys got any questions for these guys? Come on up, McKay. Or Brock, come on.
Brock ain't afraid to talk.
Let's go.
I got one question. As somebody that's trying to, still learn as far as a head coach, how much do you guys practice special teams once the season starts throughout the week? That's just a question I've always had for.
It's every practice for us. I mean, it's not always a team situation. Sometimes we're working on, how our contain guys work on punt, how our, attack guys work on kickoff. There's always going to be some individual, and then there's going to be a little bit of team, but we are committed to doing that. And it sounds like I'm a great coach, but I have 4 coaches that work outside of DeSales that can't get there till a certain time, so we usually do special teams the first 15 minutes of every practice. We do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Without fail, we're always working on special.
And just a follow-up question, when you do special teams, do you try to hit all special teams in one day, or do you do maybe kickoff on Monday, return on Tuesday, something like that?
Yeah, we work on our coverage early in the week. We feel like that's the most important. If we get something out of our return game, we feel like that's a bonus. But we're working on our coverage to try to set field position. So we'll work on that early in the week. If something doesn't look right on film when we get out of practice, we go back and we work on it again on the next day. And we'll put the return stuff off till Thursday, even if we have to. But we're usually coverage teams early.
I would say, yeah, we incorporate it every day. Yeah, we won't do everything all in one day. I'll space it out. Usually offense, defense. So like offense on offensive days, we'll work on quick change. So if we got to get out for punt, we'll be in the middle of an offensive set, stop, punt team, and then try and get those guys out just so they get into the habit of quick change, quick turnover on that. So, but practicing it every day, because I've definitely been one of those where I get completely locked in on offense and defense. And, you find out really quick that special teams can definitely win and lose you ball games for sure. So, a lot of the same stuff we do as far as, how we do stuff, whether it's coverage guys, whether it's, certain things that we're looking for throughout that week, we usually end up hitting. So, but definitely, we never really try and cram it in, space it out, and then Thursday's usually our walkthrough of everything of it. So,
and I'll say another important thing for us, I'm sure you do it too, Brock, kind of like you alluded to. During an offensive team period, we're going to script, and the 8th play of the script, we're going to do punt. And we're going to call our kids out, our scout team kids. Sometimes they're on the punt team. They got to switch over and become the punt team. And we're doing it, and I'm counting down. We got 22 seconds, 21, 20, and we got to make that change, get lined up. Sometimes I'll call an audible, maybe our fake from the sideline. Our kids don't know that's coming.
What's that called?
Sorry, our fake?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Whatever it's called, he ran it against us, and it worked, so I'll give him credit for it.
Yeah, we had a couple up our sleeve. We had to do that to beat you guys.
Okay, McKay, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. I'm getting in a little bit into quarterback coaching this year, man. So I want to learn a couple things you guys use to develop young quarterbacks.
Good luck.
Man, with quarterbacks, as you can see, I definitely have never played the part. But, studying it and going over it, I think film work for sure has been the biggest help is, being able to, we were breaking in a brand new quarterback last year. And so, being able to chart our stuff, go through our stuff, and being able to, see hey, what were you looking at on this? This was here, being able to, kind of catch him up on the speed, because the speed is way faster than what it would be on a normal JV game and so on and so forth. So, being able to hit those things and emphasize certain things, if you see certain coverages or where this guy's lined up, just being able to go through that with him so it becomes almost second nature for him. So it slows it down for him. So, and I think that's the biggest thing is once he's able to start seeing his mistakes and being able to learn from those, you can start to see that gradual climb.
I would say it depends on Iowa as a quarterback. And I just know one of the biggest part probably is the mental game. And so I'm not yelling at the quarterback. I'm not screaming at him. There might be times we're in a film session together. I'll get on him a little bit, but in front of the rest of the team, that never happens. And I question a lot more than I do tell, like Coach is talking about. Every time he makes a bad play, I never jump on him. I never criticize him. It's always, tell me why you did that, and we process it through. And the bigger thing for us, footwork is tied to everything. And I used to think, great arm, that guy's got a great arm, that guy's got a great, the arm doesn't matter if the feet don't match. And all of our route concepts are tied to the number of steps our quarterback has to take. So we had a game, it was actually close to one, before we played Brock, he saw it on film against John Harden. And our quarterback has been stellar all year, Cam Bischoff. He's one of the tops in the state in basketball and football. But all year long, his footwork was, I couldn't ever criticize him for his footwork. It was always perfect. And then that game, we got a little bit off schedule on footwork. He took an extra step on almost every route, and I was able to show him on film. He was able to see it. That one extra step that he took, and it was because he's a little bit afraid about protection, because we had some kids out that week, and it got in his head a little bit mentally. So we fixed the feet the next week. He was stellar the rest of the year. Yes,
And I'll tell you one thing. We've been around, I guess, a little bit longer than Eric, but self-scouting is huge. I mean, if you can't self-scout yourself and see what you're doing wrong, because the other team's scouting you, so you might as well self-scout yourself. Watch film a lot with your quarterback and say, look, you're supposed to take 3 steps there. Have good paperwork where you know what, when you're watching film, you know what the play call was, and self-scout yourself. Because like I said, if you're playing us, I'm scouting you, so why not scout yourself and be prepared? Brock can tell you the same thing. If you're not self-scouting, you're wasting your time.
Kind of piggyback on that question. When it comes to recording practice film, how often do you guys record practice film?
every single rep every day.
I would say we have not. This will be the first year that we've had the ability to do that, and we are going to do that. We have not we've never recorded ourselves for practice. I use, like, when I scout myself, like, I was just talking to Dante Ellison last night about this. We were talking about just ways to help yourself, like play calling wise, and, going through and entering your stuff and charting your stuff and being able to run those reports on Huddle and seeing what you're doing, what downs, what's your pass to run ratio, stuff like that. That's, for me, is what I've used. I've never been able to do it through a practice. This year, like I said, we are going to do that. So, I'm very excited about being able to do that, but I have not, Coach.
We've done it in the programs I've been in. Some places have been a little bit better being able to do it just with technology and such. When I got to DeSales, one of the first things I did, we tried to get a manager staff. The first thing I did was find a video staff. And I got 3 kids, and they do a great job. They can't all 3 be there every day, but we got 2 out of the 3 are there every day. We got somebody filming from behind for the line play, and we got somebody from the top, and we've got the Huddle camera. So we have a wide view, a tight side view, and a back view. Merge that together, and the coaches are required to watch that when they get home at night, and hopefully give our players back feedback by the time they go to bed. But we will always watch through at least our team period and be ready to have a film session that next day.
Thanks, Coach.
Sir.
Let's go. What a phenomenal episode already, man. Hey, you guys did some work for me right there, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Put them on a payroll.
Yes. So listen, spring ball, it's over. You know what I mean? You just hustled over here after your day, right?
2 days.
So, hey, how are you guys looking?
I think we're in the same boat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're in the same boat. It's, we got, with the size of our school, I think we're fairly close on it. I got so many kids that are running track, which shout out to our track team who is right now competing in regionals right now out at Ballard. So hoping that they do a good job there. But, I got so many kids running track, and then I got baseball, and then mixing in, I got some kids that are still, doing some stuff with basketball coming out with us. So being able to get everybody there right now, like right now we only have about maybe anywhere between 16 to 20 on a daily basis for us. So kind of tough for us to kind of see. But, I mean, for the 16 to 20 that have been there, it's been an unbelievable off season for us. Big advancements in the weight room. And, we spent a good portion of that. Our weight room was getting remodeled. So we spent a good portion of that over Planet Fitness, which, was a godsend for us because, you don't want to put that in the kids' hands. So, Planet Fitness was really great to us, about letting us come in and work out there. So
doesn't hurt that their parking lots are
our parking lots connect.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, other than that, it's been great. The kids have completely bought in, and so definitely gains in the weight room. We've been able to go out and do some stuff in the afternoons, passing and getting some small stuff in, just not full team size stuff. So, I'm excited for where we are right now. Here in a couple weeks, it'll be great to finally get the majority of them together, and usually that first week in June, by the time track is done for us, it'll be great to have everybody together, kind of seeing, where we're at, and let that whole gelling process begin for us.
Oh, yep.
Very similar. We had to go into spring with, what are we trying to get out of spring? We're not like a college program that we're trying to figure out which kids are going to get in the transfer portal and which aren't. I mean, we're not putting in all new systems. We did hire a new defensive coordinator. I'm very excited about Aaron Donauer joining back with DeSales after being on staff at Bellarmine for 3 years. Will give us stability on our defensive staff, something we haven't had for 3 years. He's going to do a tremendous job. So we've done a lot of install, but not a lot of our kids are there. We've got a lot of kids in baseball. We're elated. We are a school that we are going to promote the idea of multi-sport athletes. And you can go to one of the big 6A schools and, they've got enough students, they can just play basketball and just play football and just run track, whatever. Not at DeSales. We're going to promote the idea of Cam Bischoff, top 10 three-point shooter in the state. He was also a top 15 quarterback statistically. He's going to have options when he gets out of high school. He had gone to one of the big schools. By the time you get to be a sophomore, I've been there. I know. They tell you, you're going to choose one or the other. And they may not be able to just come out and say it. And they will tell kids, you can play more than one here. And you do your freshman year. After that, see how many of those basketball guys are also playing football on Friday nights. Not happening at the big schools.
Yeah,
so
no,
we want to promote that. So for that reason, I'm not begging the baseball coach to let those kids play spring football. So we're taking our young guys. We're not wearing equipment. So it's just an off-season weight training day for us, and we go out to the field and we implement what we're going to do in June. And these are basically pre-practice days for us to be ready to go in June.
And just develop.
Yeah, I mean, like I told my guys, it's going to be those guys' job that are in the weight room right now. Once everybody comes back together, you're going to be the guys that are going to help us get back up to speed. So some of you guys that are freshmen getting ready to be sophomores, like, you're going to have to take a small leadership role, because you're going to have to bring some of these other guys along with how we're doing certain things, how we line up to certain things. Like, you're already going to have a head start on some of these guys. So, just being able to buy in, and just to piggyback off what, Coach Jackson said, I mean, we're the same way. Like, I would never stop a guy from wanting to play baseball, wanting to run track. If he's trying to do other stuff, like I had a conversation today about a kid, hey, coach, I want to do AAU basketball. How do I do that? How am I going to do summer school, or how am I going to do summer basketball with, Holy Cross? And, I was like, look, we'll never get in the way of that. There's always a way, and that's the way we survive. He said it too. That's the way we survive on this is, being able to have kids play multiple sports and being multi-sport athletes. So, it's just second nature to us. And so, I mean, it's just the only way we know how to live. So, having those kids get that opportunity. And I think that's the one thing that does, it sets us apart, because we're going to promote that, and it's not going to be just your freshman year. It's going to be all the way through. So find what you like. It may take a little bit, and which is great, but, being involved and being able to do that and contribute back, that's what helps us continue to move.
I love it. Okay, now we got GLFCA coming up, showcases. People are, kids are going around right now, going to showcases, going to camps and all that. But who's representing you at GLFCA, the showcase this Thursday?
In terms of players?
Yeah, in terms of players, yeah.
Cam Bischoff, who I mentioned as a quarterback, he's getting some attention already, basketball and football, actually, because of what we promote. There were a couple of colleges there today to watch him throw and work with some of our kids on routes. We have a young man named Deshaun Harris, who's 6'3", 180-pound athlete that's been a basketball player his whole life, came to sales last year, and he's going to give football a shot, and it's going to really change us and make us a different kind of team. I think he'll stand out. He's a track athlete, so he might not be able to be involved on Thursday. Then Kingston Merritt, you guys will see him on film. We got nothing to hide. Kingston Merritt is really our Swiss Army knife. He is a kid that does everything for us. He's now a leader. He was a little bit, kind of a younger kid when he came into us, and a little squirrely. And last year he grew up and became a player. We lost our heart and soul, Brandon Williams, to an ACL injury before the season even started. Kingston came in and filled that void, did a tremendous job, and now he's our leader on the football team at this point, he and Cam. So those two guys are the main ones for us at the showcase.
We'll have Jarek Hoover for us, sophomore, coming back playing quarterback, had a great first year. So he'll be out there to showcase. Our O-lineman, we'll have Trevor Beelfield, Owen Hutchinson, Jake Bryan, and then Jackson Renders are going to actually come and represent us from the O-line. Dylan Terry will help us on the D-line. And then we just were able to add a couple more. So Malachi Watkins, who for us, he's the jack of all trades for us, plays safety, can come up and play our jack if we needed to, plays a slot receiver for us. Chris Rumbaugh plays our wide receiver, Colton King, who has had an unbelievable offseason for us. So, we got a lot of good ones going, and just being able. This is the thing that I love about our organization is that they're going to get this opportunity to showcase themselves. Some of them haven't had that shot yet. I got so many up and coming sophomores that this is going to be their first shot. And like I told them today, just go on and have a good time with this. Like, don't let, you're not going to win them over on one play. Just go out and enjoy the day, do what you do best, and then just let the cards fall where they may. So it'll be a great day. It was awesome last year. Coach Neal did a great job of organizing it last year, and it was a great time, and I don't expect anything different this year.
There you go. Dakota, you got any questions?
I say, so we talked about, a lot of your players are going to play multiple sports. Is there a sport you prefer your players to try if they want to do something new? Because I remember when I was in high school, I tried wrestling, and I'm like, why doesn't every football player try to wrestle in the offseason? That feels like the perfect sport for it.
We don't have wrestling.
We don't. What's crazy is I feel like it's on the rise coming back for us. We went for a little lull with our wrestling program where there wasn't a lot of guys that were really wanting to participate in it. And now the more and more they're like, hey, can we do this? Is this a possibility? So, talking to some guys that would be able to coach wrestling, it's definitely been a possibility. So I think wrestling is fantastic. I did wrestling for a year, and it was the most miserable thing
That whole cutting weight thing is just.
I'm going to be honest. Growing up as a WWE kid, I thought it was going to be just like that, and it is nothing like what they do on the WWE. So, but our track athletes this year have done a phenomenal job. Watching them kind of transfer this year, we were doing some routes and stuff the other day, and guys that I remember last year, and then seeing them do stuff this year, I'm like, whoa. Like, it's amazing. So, it's really hard to say basketball. There's so many different things that each sport can give you. Wrestling is awesome. I think track is really good as well.
It seems like wrestling and track translate more into the football aspect. Of course, basketball is all about being athletic, but, wrestling is for your linemen, your big guys down the trenches, and then your guys on the outside. They get their footwork from track and their quickness, and, those are natural, but any sport that keeps you busy is better than nothing.
There's so much that can transfer into the sport of football, and it depends on, if you're a quarterback or whatever, or a wide receiver, talking about basketball, being able to put a lot of change of direction. Wrestling, obviously, for the linemen and the mid-skill guys. But, if I had my preference, I would say wrestling into track. Track does a lot of runs over 40 yards, to be honest. It's a lot of 100 meters, 200 meters or more. You never do that in a football game. So I always tell the guys, if you're running track to try to get faster for football, don't. If you're running track to help the track team, do it. Because I will run you in a speed program that I've developed for 30 years, and I will get you faster for football, whether you're a lineman or a wide receiver or whatever. But if you're good at track, and I've had a lot of really, really good ones over the years, run track, help our track team. But otherwise, we've got a solid enough comprehensive weight program that we work strength, agility, speed, and quickness, the whole thing all year long. However, I will say, I don't care what our kids play at DeSales as far as another sport, because all of our coaches, I'll at least say the ones football players tend to play, wrestling and basketball, baseball, volleyball, their coaches believe in the weight room. And I've been other places where the basketball coach didn't really believe in weights and tried to discourage his kids from lifting weights. Now, I wasn't crazy about a kid playing basketball in that system, so I was going to go 3 or 4 months off of what I call injury prevention. We want to lift weights to get better, faster, stronger, mainly about preventing injuries. The only horrible ACL injuries I've ever had in 30 years, they've been kids who's had coaches in the spring or the winter tell them you can't lift weights. They come out of it and come to us in the fall, and they blow an ACL.
There we go. Listen, I got the last, and this is the juicy question, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about the rivalry coming back. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great for our end of town. I mean, I think it's great for the South End, and it's great for us because it puts us in the same conversation as your X and Trinity, because this for us is an X and Trinity matchup. This is what matters to our end of town, and so the same way X and Trinity is. I mean, we battle for the Hibernian Cup. They battle for the Shillelagh. So I mean, it means something. It goes back for a long time, and so we were looking. I know currently they have the Hibernian Cup. The original cup that was played for. It's in our locker room. So I mean, it's something that has a rich history to it, and so between myself and Coach Jackson, I know we're both glad to be able to bring it back. I know our kids are excited. I'm sure his kids are too. So I mean, it's just one of those. It's good. It's good for us, and I mean, it's something that we, I'm going to be honest as a coach, I can't wait for, because you look for those big game atmospheres, and if you've came out to a game on Friday nights, they're big. But I mean, I remember I've been a part of 2 Holy Cross DeSales games. One of them was a absolute torrential downpour the entire game, and the crowd wasn't too hot. And then the second one was a tough one to watch, because we kept getting kids got hurt left and right, and it was just one of those. But I mean, it was an unbelievable atmosphere. So I'm excited, to be able to bring this back. Like I said, not only for our end of town, but for our schools to kind of put us back to where we need to be.
Yeah, I want to actually recognize Coach Dick. I mean, when I first got the job at DeSales, I realized 2 teams weren't playing. I didn't understand it. I'm not part of that history. I don't know. And I asked about it, and everything I'd heard is we're eager to play it. Let's go. Let's bring it back. And I talked to Coach Dick. He said he wanted to do it, and took some work behind the scenes, I think, on his part to get that done. And now we got it. We got it back, and we're excited about it. We've got some natural rivalries with Cal and that kind of thing, but this is the one that really matters for the folks on our end of town. I would say more than anybody for our alumni. Not so much for me. I'm not a DeSales grad.
And you're not, are you Catholic?
Well, you didn't have to bring that
Well,
up.
I'm just saying, it's big for the South End Catholics.
Yes,
it's huge.
Yes. No, I'm actually not Catholic. I have a brother-in-law named Leo, if that's the closest I get. But
Is he the 14th?
no, he's not that. But I've been very welcomed by the Catholic community at DeSales, and I'm appreciative. But it is big for our alumni, and I know Coach Donauer coming on staff. He's excited about the idea of getting able to get back on the field.
You had a Freudian slip there. I heard the word "beat" there.
To be back on the field.
Okay.
Hey, we don't talk before the game. We try to talk during the game.
That's right.
And then we say good
And
job.
talk after the game. Say congratulations.
I like that Coach Jackson touched on the alumni. That's huge. 'Cause of course, you were with Mail and part of the historic game or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I think it's great for the city, great for the South End, great for the Catholics.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm hyped for that.
I can't tell you how many alumni I've reached out and been like, Coach, we're excited. Thank you for being able to do this. And like I said, it's great. It's great for everybody, the alumni included. And so it's just one of those that I know that the alumni are looking forward to. We're looking forward to it. And, it was time, and, we're going to turn it loose.
I was only a part of one, but you can ask him when he told me that it was coming back. I mean, I was like, yeah, let's go. It needs to be. It needs to be done. I don't care the circumstances or the anything. It needs to be played.
There we go. Phenomenal episode, boys. Yeah, good job. Thanks to the coaches that came on, a little round table. But, yeah, we appreciate you guys. But like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to Whistle
podcast.